All right, guys, 22.3. We're going to get through this open one way or another. They just announced it, although it was leaked an hour early, but hey, who cares about that? We know it anyway. 22.3, what do you got?
All right, 22.3 is a chipper of 21 kipping pull-ups, 42 jump rope double unders, 21 thrusters at 95-65 for the RX, 18 chest bar pull-ups, 36 double unders, 18 thrusters, 10 or 20 pound increase to 115 for the men, 10 pound increase to 75 pounds for the women, 15 bar muscle ups, 30 double unders, and 15 thrusters at another 20 pound increase for men at 135, and a 10 pound increase to 85 pounds for the women.
12 minutes.
12-minute time cap.
12 minutes for that one. So, some coach tips for you guys. First and foremost, obviously, warming up mobility-wise. A couple easy warm-ups that everyone should be able to do. With the shoulders. Smallest band, right? Get it stretched across something, and you're grabbing and twisting into the shoulders, right? A good solid 30 seconds to a minute, not just twisting the wrist, but twisting up in the arm, right? You want to work on that on both sides. Second one, for the hips. You can either lay up against the wall or you can do this with a rig. You want to sit into a band so it's over the hips, and you want to use that in the bottom of the squat so it's pulling you forward so you can be vertical in that squat and sit in there for at least a couple minutes as you get your hips ready for the bottom of those thrusters. Now, second thing to talk about here is tie breaks. This will be two big spots on tie breaks. After the first thrusters and after the second thrusters. The biggest thing that you need to consider is after those first thrusters, in the RX level, it goes to chest to bar, right? And if that's some move that you don't have, then you need to go crazy on those thrusters. Next move down is bar muscle ups. Now, if you don't have those, right, and you know a bunch of people are going to be stuck there, then you got to go crazy and bust through those second thrusters, right? Those are going to be the tie break things that people are going to be really, really chasing. So be mindful of that as you get to that thruster weight, that thruster set, you got to really push. If you know that the next move is going to be kind of like the stop move where you may or may not get one. Last thing, commit to the plan, which not only means, right, how you're going to chase this, like meaning like if you're going to do a RX version and you're like, okay, that means the chest to bars are second. That means I got to go crazy through this first part to see what I can do on the chest to bars. Or if I'm scaling, then the second move is a full pull-up. Because the first move is a jumping pull-up, then you're still going as fast as you can get to that hard move for you, right? And that committing to the plan is just that. It's like you want to decide before this if you're going to go scaled, right? And see how far deep into this you can get, or if you're going to go RX. And that might mean, if that's you, that you might be stuck early on at a gymnastic move and just maybe just sitting there and just trying to get that. And if that's okay for you, and that's okay for us too, but you've got to think about that before that workout starts. What's Q-tips?
All right, my first one is breaks and also how I'm going to look at this workout. For me, I'm planning on finishing this workout, so I'm going to look at what is the last thing I have, which is the heavy thruster. And that is also the most difficult part for me personally as an athlete, a lighter athlete. I'm going to look at this to make sure that I can hammer this how I want to, meaning I want 5 sets is typically what I'm going to go for, but if I have enough energy for a 9-6, 2 sets, I'm going to try to go for that, which means I'm going to look back up here at the first early moves and break those. I'm going to break the 21 thruster, even though I could do 95 pounds unbroken. I'm not going to because I got the rest of this workout to be ready for, right? And so I'm going to probably go 11-10 or maybe something else, right? So that way, and then coming into this, same thing. I'm going to break, so that way when I get to the bar muscle up and 15 thrusters at 135, I'm going to make sure that I can hit those reps that I want to and maybe have a little bit more for a bigger set, for a final push at the end. And then next thing is grip or grips. Protect your hands on this. There's a lot of gymnastic stuff, but also grip by how you hang onto your bar apparatus, right? For chest to bar, it is legal in these standards to switch grip or chin up supinated grip, whatever you feel comfortable with.
We can show you a little bit of those in a second.
Yep, and then the thruster, a big thing that might help, since this will be a grippy workout with double unders and gymnastic moves, is to try that suicide grip. Right? With your thumbs not fully around the bar, you don't have to use as much of that forearm flexion to really bring that into the front rack. So when you're driving down, you can press up, and that saves your grip a lot with that suicide grip. Me personally, I'm going to avoid that just because of how my arms are kind of long and set up. But it is a really good option for a lot of athletes. And then the last thing is losing time. There's a ton of stuff here, a ton of options to lose time, right? People on pull-ups are like going crazy, right? Dancing around, and they might be going chalk, and they're like, all right, let's go, chalking up, right? And you gotta be in the workout, right? You gotta be ready to hit this next set if you're breaking twos, let's say, right? You can't be like staring at the bar, chalking up, and then be like, oh, maybe I need more chalk. No, you gotta, your hands are already chalked up. Get on that bar, hit your two, shake your arms out, hit another two. Same with thrusters. You're not gonna need as much chalk. You're not gonna need to be dancing around. Be in that workout. And also, double unders, they can be a tricky move for a lot of people. Don't get mad at your rope. It didn't do anything to hurt you. Don't throw it. You're gonna be chasing your jump rope if you do. Keep it under control.
Think about the ropes. So let's look at a quick example here of these grips for chest to bar or pull-ups as an example. So the normal one that everyone uses is this overhand grip right here, right? And so it's what we're all familiar with, but you can switch and change your grip, right? So you can go over, under. Now that might give you a little more strength in the pull, because when people use an underhand grab, they can sometimes get a little higher, or they get a little more oomph without needing necessarily as much kip. And that might be some of you. So consider that option when you're warming up, to play around with those different grips. And otherwise, we'll be seeing you on the leaderboard. It looks like this is a business casual type of presentation here. So let's get after it for this final 22.3, y'all. We're out.